long time ago, I reviewed those Chucky films. I mean, look at me there. I've got hair and less wrinkles and folds, and doesn't seem that long ago. And I got a better camera now. And I probably did some personal growth. No, just the camera, okay. And I said at the time that I wasn't massively excited for where the Chucky series was going. And at that time the TV series hadn't started, it was still kind of just being discussed. And now it's out and it's well on its way, so maybe it's time I checked out Chucky, the TV series. I had two major concerns when this whole thing was announced, and the first was that they were going to neuter Chucky. I mean, he's a bloody and bawdy badass, and this is on the USA Network. Like, what's their most badass thing? Oh, wrestling! Oh, it's so cool! I'm just kidding, I love wrestling. I actually love wrestling. Why am I doing this? Come on though, this is basic cable. Chucky's not going to be able to swear like he usually does.
Guess what, dickhead? Asshole. Fucking asshole. Heidi fucking ho. Fucking face.
You get fucked with that shit.
Okay, well, look, what's a few bad words? Those movies are all about the violence, and there's no way you can put that amount of violence on television. Oh shit, this might be awesome. Another big concern I have with the franchise now was that it was getting a bit tangled and obsessive with its own continuity. Like, they were bringing back characters from earlier in the series for no real reason, or there was multiple possessed Chuckies now, and it was starting to just be a little bit much. Thankfully, the series is smart enough to not overburden you with that. Initially. Chucky the series takes place in Charles Lee Ray's hometown of Hackensack, New Jersey. Even the USA Network has its limits. I don't think we're going to see any hacking sacks in this, thank you very much. We follow teenage boy Jake Wheeler, who has had it rough. His mom is dead, and his dad is not dead. Oh, that's a shocker. Oh, poor choice of words and timing. As I was saying, his dad is dead. Sorry, less happy. His dad is dead. Thankfully, though, Jake can get by with his family, with his uncle, played by Devon Sawa, who also played his dad, his aunt, and his cousin, Junior. You know, between Jake and Junior, they have both versions of Ezra Miller covered. I'm just kidding. There's many different sides to Ezra Miller. Chucky infiltrating a family, though, is nothing new, but what does give the series a fresh vibe is that this time around, Chucky's going to high school. Seriously though, it does give the series a new dynamic. When you think about it, Chucky has mostly dealt with children, like the early entries in the Child's Play series, or adults. And aside from minor moments in Child's Play 3 and the reboot, Chucky hasn't really dealt with teenagers in a massive way, and the TV series gives it a lot of time to explore that, because let's be honest, it's a fascinating age in general in drama, but especially a fascinating age to meet a killer doll. Okay, so let's get into the high school drama, because it can be a little bit...
Give me the power I beg of you!
Okay, so Jake's cousin is Junior, his son, and he's going out with Lexi. Lexi is a total bitch. She dressed as Jake's dead dad for Halloween. I mean, what a tacky C.
And if you try to stop me or penalize me in any way, my parents will sue the school.
I think Mrs. McVeigh should be part of this conversation.
Happy to. She and my mom are in the same Pilates class.
I mean, you've got me actively cheering for the murder of a high school girl. What is going on? She thinks she's hot shit because her mom is the mayor, and her sister's like an eccentric genius who loves Chucky, which hopefully you will after this video like and subscribe. And then we have Devon. Devon! He's kind of weird, but he's also kind of cool. He's like one of those kids who's got like in cold blood posters on the wall, you know, those kids. And he's also got a murder podcast, but he also totally has the heart of Jake, because those guys are totally sweet on each other. You go, girl! Speaking of spirits, what dated high school valley mean girl bullshit was that? I feel old and also dirty talking about high school drama, like, oh my god, this one's a bitch. Are they together? Will they get together? Oh. I have to say though, the dynamics in the series really do work. I think Jake as well is a very likeable lead, and the whole crux of the series is basically whether or not, since he is in this vulnerable place, whether or not Chucky will be able to turn him to the dark side and make him a murderer. The hook of the whole series is essentially that if Chucky manages to corrupt the innocence of a child, that he'll be able to split his soul into more pieces and essentially have a Chucky army. However, it's not just the current Chucky that we catch up with. We also get details about the past life of Chucky when he was Charles E. Ray. We get a flashback per episode in the first season, and generally they're pretty interesting. Sometimes they're superfluous, but there is some really interesting stuff. For example, we find out that Chucky's first kill was his parents, because when someone broke in to kill them, he helped the killer. But then there's other things that kind of fill in parts of the lore. We see how he picked up voodoo, how he first met Tiffany, how he meets his first partner in crime from the first film, Eddie Caputo. Perhaps the biggest bombshell is the fact that we find out that the event that kicked off the whole film series when he's being chased by the police in that first film was because Tiffany ratted him out. Scandal. I think more than anything this video is just showing how much of a dramatic gossipy bitch I am. Then again, you don't have to keep reminding us he's going to become a killer doll. Like, we know that. Jesus, especially don't do it if it looks that bad. That's scary for a whole different reason. Now, I'm not always a fan of this retroactive continuity or prequelitis, but I do think it works here, and having kind of a tiny bit each episode spaced out like that means that it's not grating, and it fills in kind of some of the little gaps in the fans' lore that, you know, if you're a fan of the series like me, is interesting. But it's also really interesting that Fiona Dorff, who plays Nika in the Child's Play series, is playing Charles E. Ray here, the role her father, Brad Dorff, who voices Chucky, plays. So she's giving a performance as her father while he's doing the voice, which is weird because she also does an imitation of him when she's possessed by Chucky. There's a lot of layers. You guys need therapy. That's what I'm saying. You guys should go to family therapy. I think there's a lot going on here you need to unpack.
The whole mindfuck of playing my father, or this like iconic character that my father is associated with. I FaceTimed my dad. He was like, huh.
She came and said, I want to spend time with you. And I said, go and see the earlier movies.
Enough of that confusing shite. How is our boy Chucky doing? Well, let me just say, our little guy looks good on the small screen. I mean, swearing-wise, dude has still got a potty mouth.
Well, guess what, dickheads? Now the joke's on you.
The fun's over.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Let's go.
I'm out of here.
And they do not hold back. One of my favourite things in the first season is in the first episode where he pretends to be a ventriloquist puppet for Jake so he can kind of tear into and bully and roast Lexi.
Look what I found.
My phone!
And look what she keeps Googling.
Why do my farts smell so good?
Adorable.
Damn, he didn't hold back. Chucky is a murderer, but I do want to point out the accessory to murder in this scene. Like, Spotlight guy, did you really have to spotlight her when she was being roasted? That is cold as shit. There is also one better heckler in the series than Chucky.
Second, I am here to tell you that Hackensack has never been safer. We are still the best darn big little city in America.
Third, you're an idiot.
Great heckle. 5 stars.
You're an idiot.
But in general, it doesn't feel like he's ever restrained from now being on TV. The man has still got a mouth like a sailor. There's one moment where the swearing was apparently so intense they even censored it on the Blu-ray.
You fucking little...
What the hell did he say?
You fucking little...
Idiot.
I don't know, apparently we couldn't handle that swearing, but all the bloody violence we can definitely handle because he's still very, very violent and bloody when it comes to Chucky, the TV series. Although less bloody is his first kill where he kills Jake's dad, which is different.
Get out of the street, you fucking bum!
That was new. I'm just thinking someone who's never seen Chucky before is like, does he always do that? No, first time. But, you know, I should point out that this is also an educational series. For example, I did learn, never ever stack your knives face up in the dishwasher. And for all those creative and bloody kills, we do also get some sad and grounded ones, unfortunately.
Your illness? Stage 4 cancer.
See Cancer's horrible though, sorry. It is her fault though. Don't say you're going to die in a horror movie or TV series apparently, because then you're going to die. Not in the way you expect, and sooner. I should point out though, that is Junior's mom. So just to cap it off right now, he has killed so far Junior's mom, Jake's dad, Devon's mom, who's also the cop investigating all these murders, and also Lexi's dad. Not Lexi's mom though, who, by the way, Lexi's mom is played by the actress's real life mom, who's also an actress. It's all getting very confusing. That being said, one of my favourite scenes in the whole show actually isn't a murder, it's more of an attempted murder when Chucky goes to kill Lexi at Jake's behest. Of course, he does some killing on the way though when the kids have a silent disco. I think we know what we're going to do.
It's murder on the dance floor, but you better not kill the groove.
Yeah, okay, technically it's not a dance floor, but you get the idea. I mean, we're never going to top the needle drop in episode 5 of this show anyway.
Off with your head. Dance till you're dead. Heads will roll.
Anyway, he goes to kill Lexi, and it's him at his violent best. I mean, he looks like an absolute psychopath as the room starts to catch fire. It is so freaking awesome. But it's also really pivotal because, as I mentioned, it's attempted murder. Lexi survives. And the next episode means that changes everything because she realizes Jake sent Chucky to kill her, but also that Chucky killed Jake's dad and the others. And this is where the whole show gets turned on its head, as now people who used to be kind of enemies, Jake and Lexi, have to team up along with Devon to take Chucky down.
I don't really want to spend the rest of my life being scared of getting killed by a toy. Since no one else will believe me, I'm stuck with you. So what do we do?
It's actually a really well done switch, and seeing the relationship between those characters grow and develop is fascinating to watch, and you really get invested in it. It's really impressive in the case of Lexi, who is a character who I honestly up to that point totally hated. Like, I was like, she's a bigger villain than Chucky after she's delivered this, the worst apology ever.
I guess I can sort of see why you'd take that the wrong way. Even though you're like a weird social tumor who's creepy AF and you thought you couldn't mess with me at the talent show. You know, I think people really underestimate my humility.
Even Ashton and Mila are like, really, bitch? Really? That reference isn't going to age well, is it? What's also really well done is that it puts our trio together, but it also has them keeping Junior out to keep him safe, which makes him isolated alone and more eligible to be corrupted by Chucky. It's a really good idea for them to do that, nearly at the halfway point of the show, because the changing of dynamics and allegiances makes the show really refreshing to watch and makes the 8-episode runtime feel really brisk and exciting.
Jake's doll Chucky was alive, and he killed his dad, and he killed Oliver, and the cop at the hospital, and your housekeeper too, and he wouldn't stop killing, so we broke him into pieces, and now he's dead, so everyone can stop worrying about it.
If you don't want to tell me what's going on, fine, but...
Excuse me, we need to talk about the look of Chucky for a sec. Now, I was a little bit nervous of whether he could make the jump to TV when it came to having the budget to make him work, and I don't know why, but it feels like maybe they thought people would feel that way, because it seems like almost deliberate in the first episode. He barely moves at the start to kind of make you think like, oh man, they don't have the budget to pull this off. They're not going to make it look good. Honestly though, I think this is the best Chucky has ever looked. Visually, it's probably closest in design to Child's Play 2. But the CGI, if it's there, I can't even tell half the time because it's so not noticeable, but it's incredibly well done. The puppetry looks really good. This is, for me, the best Chucky has ever looked in any medium. And it also has Chucky's best look when he dresses as Hello Kitty.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Oh, hello, Kitty.
I'm looking for a party.
Oh, he's a cute little murderer, isn't he? So yes, as you've probably guessed by now, Chucky is basically going from child to child when they're at their weakest to corrupt them so he can split his soul and have an army of Chuckies. And yeah, I wouldn't worry about the Dembala or soul rules. They rarely are consistent in this series. I'll tell you what is consistent though. Jennifer fucking Tilly. How am I still in love with this woman? Oh, I can think of 2 big reasons why I still love her. Her beautiful face and her wonderful voice. What can I say? She's a very boobyful woman. Fuck! Seriously though, Tilly is awesome. I mean, anytime she has to kind of play a ramped up version of herself, it's never not fun. And she does a great job as Tiffany when she needs to be kind of scary and menacing as well. And I love how she interacts with Nika, which, yes, we should mention, Fiona Dorff is playing Nika again, who we saw in Cult of Chucky, was basically possessed by Chucky and was able to walk as a result of that. And I have to say, Fiona Dorff, in my opinion, is hella underrated. And what's great about this is she gets to show a bit of range between being Nika and being Chucky, because she often switched back and forth. I think she's great in this, and I love the relationship between Nika and Tiffany, especially when Tiffany kind of realizes she actually prefers Nika to Chucky, which leads to a big decision at the end of the series, which we'll get to. But of course, other characters return as well. The legacy characters. So we have Andy, who was in the first 2 Child's Play films and the 2 most recent films, and we have Kyle, who was in the second Child's Play, and I believe it was the post-credit scene in the most recent film that she also returned in, which, honestly, at the time I talked about those, I wasn't that into the idea. It just felt like unnecessary fan service that I didn't really care about. But I do think they're well used here. They're kind of never the focus. They're always just the informed experts that help the kids when they need it. And basically what they've been up to is going around the country killing good guy dolls in case they were Chucky.
Oh, fuck you, Andy!
I don't know why it's funny, but like giving these 2 middle-aged, not intimidating people at all the kind of Jules and Vincent Vega kind of vibe of Pulp Fiction, it's funny because it doesn't work at all. But hey, that's kind of part of the fun, I guess. And by the way, if you're going to go around killing dolls, please don't kill any of the innocent dolls. For example, my favourite doll is Tommy.
Hi,
Look at Tommy
I'm
there.
Tommy.
Don't what are you doing to Tommy? Oh God, Tommy, no! Okay, just don't kill the cute innocent little girl, okay? I mean, you gave me a bit of a fright when you put her in a coma, but hey, she's waking up and she's got something to say. What is it?
I like to be hugged. Where's Chucky? I want Chucky. I want Chucky. I want Chucky.
Kill the bitch. Yep. I mean, if she says that after waking up from a coma, she's probably ill anyway. Fuck it.
Kill them all. Mommy, Daddy, and you.
Okay, enough dicking around. What actually happens in the show? As mentioned, the dramatic tension is whether Chucky can corrupt the innocence of the kids. Can he get someone to kill? Over the course of the show, Junior has kind of become a bit more agonized and Chucky starts to take notice. At this point, we have to remember he blames his cousin for all the deaths that have happened, including the death of his mom. And also he's starting to grow apart from Lexi. And Tiffany has also come along and seduced the dad. So he doesn't even think his dad cares that his wife, his mother, is dead. And then Chucky gets in his ear and says, hey, guess what? Your dad was having an affair with that woman. And that is why your mom committed suicide. And it's just the push he needs to kill. Because of that kill, Chucky can now split his soul and create an army of good guy dolls. All he needs is a big event to distribute the dolls around Hackensack. And thankfully, there is an event. The most insane event, possibly the most insane thing in the show about a killer voodoo doll is how weird and random this event is. So the mayor, Lexi's mom, during a press conference on the murder and deaths in Hackensack, is like, we're going to have a screening of Frankenstein, everybody. So they get Jennifer Tilly as a special guest, because why her? What's the connection there? Okay, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, but they're also going to give away good guy dolls at the screening. Why? What's like? I mean, this doll does have sinister connections. That aside, why are you giving away at a Frankenstein screening? What's Jennifer Tilly got to do? Here's what you should be doing, by the way. There is actually a Chucky movie in the Chucky universe, as we see in Seed of Chucky, that has Jennifer Tilly in it. So here's what you should be doing, Miss Mayor. You should be showing the Chucky film. And you get Jennifer Tilly to sign the dolls and you sell them, and the proceeds go to the victims of Charles E. Ray, because we are the hometown that birthed them. And this is an FU to him and standing by the victims of death and murder, including these current ones. And we remind you that this move and everything we do in our future is a reminder that good will never triumph over evil as long as we the people do not stand by and let it happen. Vote for Tom for the mayor of Hackensack in 2024. Remember, don't fuck with Chucky, fuck with Tom. I can't say that, it sounds like I'm calling myself a fuckwit. Shouldn't get that upset though, because this apparently worked as well. The theatre is packed, and Chucky goes on a bit of a rampage, killing people, including killing Lexi's dad. And Junior is by his side to do some killing of his own until Lexi talks him out of it. At which point he stabs Chucky and then kills himself. But we're not done with Chucky yet either, as now Jake gets his hands on Chucky. And we get a very quick reminder that Chucky, at the end of the day, is just a doll. And he gets absolutely demolished, and it's pretty damn satisfying.
When I killed your dad, you were thrilled.
Then I was pissed. I'm still pissed that we never got the chance to work it out or to be friends again.
I was your friend. I accepted you.
See, what if you only got the chance to meet Devin?
Oh, that is so gay.
Watch your fucking mouth. That's my boyfriend you're talking about.
It's not just Jake and the teens though handing him his ass, as Tiffany lets him know he's had enough of his shit in a pretty satisfying and violent way.
I'm done with you, Chucky. I'm done with your petty shit and your massive ego and your tiny fucking dick.
I was going to make like a smooth, like a Ken doll joke. She's kind of stole my thunder. Yeah, that's using your head. Oh, fuck it, move on. So it seems Chucky is finally foiled, especially as Andy has the truck full of all the Chucky dolls he hoped to possess and is about to destroy them, but not so fast. Because we get the only appearance in season 1 of Tiffany. That's Tiffany the doll, not Tiffany the human, who is in the body of Jennifer Tilly, pretending to be Jennifer Tilly, who, by the way, also cut all the limbs off of Nika in case she gets possessed by Chucky and tries to do anything. Yeah, see how this doesn't make any sense if you're not really following it all along, really. That's what I mean. It's the tangle of continuity is still kind of going on. It's a little bit messy, but I digress. So, Tiffany has Andy at gunpoint, and that's it for season 1. We don't find out what happens. And as the teenagers stand over the many graves Chucky left behind, a mysterious figure watches them. Who is it? I don't know. I haven't finished season 2 yet. Anyway, maybe I'll come back and review season 2 and 3, and maybe if it goes beyond that, I'll review those too someday. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more Halloween or horror content on the Pop Cult Pod. And remember, vote Tom in 2024. Fuck with Tom. Gotta change that slogan.
You're an idiot.